right, so it is time. So today I'm going to be talking about why you should be investing in Pokemon and some of the basics of things that you really need to look at if you're trying to get into investing in Pokemon cards or even collecting in Pokemon cards. It's not just investing. If you like to collect, this is something good to look at as well. I'm going to switch this up. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about, where do you buy this stuff? The best place I think you can buy is eBay. You can look for Facebook groups or Instagram groups and really join a community, getting into Discords. Um, I know one of them is Sports Card Investor Discord group that you get into, and they have something on Pokemon cards, and you get in that group, and you talk to people, and they can kind of get you into other Discord groups, or you can just Google, what Discord groups or Pokemon Discord groups, and you can get into them, or look at blogs and things such as that, and they can like help you out. Other one is ComC. It's another website that you can buy cards. They have Pokemon. Other one is Mercari. It's another. It's not as popular, but that's another place you can find cards as well. And then there's also card shows. You can go to card shows or card shops. Sometimes Walmart and Target, but most of the Walmart and Target stuff is more, and even a lot of card shops is more of the newer type stuff. It's better really to buy for investment and collecting the older stuff, really 1999 to I would say 2002, because that was around the time it was most popular to me. You know, things kind of changed, and there's a long history of Pokemon from 1999 to now, and they're still coming out with so many different boxes and packs and different kind of Pokemon. So it's very difficult to keep track of everything. I would say stay focused more on 99 to 2002 type stuff. There are some other interesting things, but you have to figure out what you want to get into. Next is you need to understand the risk. So risk are, you can buy things. Let's say you buy on eBay. You can buy it now or shield bidding. So what is shield bidding? Shield bidding is basically people place a bunch of bids on an item that's on auction online, and it's due in a few days. The auction is going to end in a few days, and you place a bid. Right now it's at 200, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna place it for 300. I'm willing to buy it for 300, and then somebody like bids over you, and they just keep bidding up the price, and just they're not actually gonna. Someone from another account, and maybe it's the card that they're selling, or they have a similar card, and they're trying to boost up the price to get it to show online that it's sold for an astronomical price. So if something is normally sold for 500, they shield bid it and win the auction, or make you severely overpay trying to compete with them and pay $1,000 for it when it normally costs $500 to $600 to $800, or pay $2,000 for it. And to basically boost the market and give you these artificial sales. The other one is fake cards, because people counterfeit $20 bills. If you have cards that are selling for tens of thousands, $100,000, guess what? People are probably gonna try to make fakes of that too. The other one is resale products. A lot of times you see this with boxes and packs, and people buy the packs and they're very expensive, and you're using packs as an investment, but they've been resealed. So basically what they did is they opened the pack in a certain way, and then they took the cards out and they put fake cards or something else in there, and then they're selling you, or they picked through it. They took the best cards out and put the regular cards back in, and it doesn't have the quality of like what you're actually buying. And then people weigh packs to figure out, when they're selling packs, they figure out, because of the holo cards, the holographic cards, I believe that they weigh, I don't know if they weigh more or less, but you can figure out like what's in it based on how much they weigh. And the rarest cards weigh less than the common cards. And you can tell the difference from weights from a scale. So that's why it's really tricky to buy packs. The other thing you have to look at is rarity. You have common cards, rare and uncommon. Most of the time, I think you should stay away from it. But how you can tell if a card is, common or uncommon or even rare, at the bottom right hand corner of the card, very bottom right hand corner, you're gonna see like a little black dot, and that black dot is going to show you that's how you can tell the rarity of it. And then this is a common card for Squirtle. On the bottom right hand corner, you see like a little black dot, which determines that it is a common card. Then you have hollow cards. So hollow cards, this next rarity is harder to find. And here is a picture of a Charizard, and this is a picture of a hollow card. And you can see that the picture is kind of shiny, glittery / refractory. Hollow cards and gleamy, shiny looking cards. It's the picture of the Pokemon, which is normally at the top in like a little square, rectangular type box. That part is going to be shiny for the card. So that card is more rare than the common, uncommon rares. Next is reverse hollow. So these cards are going to be shiny everywhere except that little box of pictures. So all around the borders and all over the other rest of the front of the card is going to be shiny. And this is what the reverse hollow looks like, where the picture is not holographic, but the rest of the card is shiny. Next, you're gonna have the EX, GX, half body art. These are normally ultra rare, and then you have the full art, full body. All right, and here is the Pokemon full half body art. This should be the ultra rare, and then this is generally for newer cards, like the older cards, 99 through 2002, 3, 4, don't have this kind of art. And then this is the full body art, which is the ultimate rare, more rare than the ultra rare, but also you see the full body of the Pokemon is covering the entire card. It's actually a very nice work of art. Basically what it shows is like the full art and the full body of the Pokemon. These are even more rare, and it's another level ultra rare, and then you have your secret rare cards. And then this is what a secret rare looks like. This is more for like newer cards, but this is definitely like basically what they look like. In general, secret rare is going to be the rarest you're generally going to find. There are a few other like promos that are harder to find. Secret rare is really the things, if you're going to be buying more modern stuff, I would just stick to secret rare. So other thing you need to look at is budgeting. So if you go into auctions or buying this stuff, it gets really addicting. So I think you should budget, put out a plan, how many dollars you want to put out a week or a month to save up to buy. So maybe buy things every few weeks or every few months or every year, and pick a time when, I would suggest when the market is at its lowest. And I think around now is probably the best time to actually start diving in, looking to buy Pokemon cards. Because you don't want to be over leveraged or be taking out loans or putting stuff on your credit cards that you can't pay off. You just don't want to, because a lot of this stuff, you may not be able to sell it for what you paid for it. It could dip down and you may need money and you're going to be selling it at a loss. And you really need to decide on what your financial goals are. Are you trying to get rich off and be like a millionaire for cards, or are you trying to make money to outpace the stock market, or have something that you like and enjoy that's going to maintain your money or make you a little bit more money in the future? When you just finally get sick of it, you can sell it and make it like a certain size of a profit off of. So the big thing is it's a hobby. It's long term. People have been into it since '99 for English stuff, but before that, '98, maybe I believe '97 for Japanese cars. So it's one of those things. You have to really look at it because it is dangerous, because it's a fast market and things can kind of go get almost out of control. Next is, figure out what you want to do. Do you want to flip? So flippers are people who get cards and they sell as soon as possible and take cards off. Like they basically buy a bunch of cards because they're not planning to hold on to it long term. They don't really care much about the card. They buy it because they think this is going to be the next hot thing. It's going to shoot up. They sell it. They don't really worry about, oh, it can go up higher. No, I'm going to make a profit where I'm going to make 10%, 20% more, 30, 50, 2x, 3x, whatever, more. I'm just going to sell it, and then I'm going to take my money and move it somewhere else. Next is collecting. A lot of people, so really flipping, you do that, you keep doing that because maybe you have a little bit of money and you take $10 and try to make it 20, and then you try to make 20 and make it into 30, and then 30 into 40, and then 40 into 80, and you just try to build up and you're trying to make that money work for you until you can buy a much bigger card. And you have enough money to buy a much bigger card. Flipping on the other, collecting on the other hand, you think of Pokemon like you got to catch them all. It's really collecting. People collect because overwhelming nostalgia, something that maybe connects them to their childhood, and there's a very emotional attachment to it. So what's the thing about that? They're more likely collectors, and a lot of times you want to buy cards for the collector because they're going to spend the most money for it, and really they're going to spend the most money for the rarest stuff and the hardest stuff to find, and the nicer cards. And a lot of it's going to be more vintage type stuff, like a 1999 first edition Holo Charizard. People are going to spend a lot of money for that, or PSA 9. Very hard to find, get your hands on, and it's very nostalgic. So the other thing is there's certain types of sets that you can get. So one of them is first edition base set. First edition base is the most popular set. It has that Charizard for, I believe, for PSA 10, I believe it's 300K to about 500K. I mean, stuff is decreasing right now, so it may be around 100K, 90K, something like that. Next is Shadowless base set. Shadowless base set is very popular. It's really, really rare. So the issue is it's not first edition. It's actually an era set. This is weird because in sports cards you don't have this. An era set is something that is, they basically screwed up in printing, and you can see like the cards. Well, the Shala set, there's just no first edition, and it's harder to find. Next is Base Unlimited. I think this actually has a lot of room to grow. My opinion for Base Unlimited, though, there's a large pop count. I think over time it's going to be worth a lot of money in the future. And a lot of people are going to be sleeping on it, and that stuff is going to probably decrease the most, and that's probably something that people should put their money into. But I think, yeah, like if you get PSA 10s or BGS 10s or BS 9.5s or maybe SGC 10s and these cards, you're going to do pretty well as far as investment, even collecting as well. Because just the thing that you have to understand about base set unlimited versus first edition, the base set unlimited, there's 6 to 8 times more cards made than the first edition sets. So how many PSA first edition PSA 10s or whatever first edition cards that were made for base set, you should just, for that particular Pokemon, you should multiply by 6 to 8x, and that's probably how many you're gonna find. Next is the Jungle set, first edition. Also, the Shadowless set, let me mention this. The Shadowless set does have some cards that are very valuable, like first edition Red Cheeks Pikachu. That's in no other set. I believe it was supposed to be Yellow Cheeks, but somehow it became Red Cheeks. And that was a mistake. Yeah, however, they screwed that up. Um, but technically, there shouldn't be a first edition on any of the other cards. And Jungle set, preferably should get first edition. Fossil set, preferably get first edition. Base set too. You also have Team Rocket set, and then Gym Heroes. Also, there are other things that you should really be looking at. There are autograph cards by the artist, the original artist for Pokemon. I believe it's Mitch Mitsushiro Arita. Um, that is a new market that people are getting into, autograph cards by him. Era cards like the Red Cheese Pikachu and the first edition or the Shadowless set. And then those are really the main things that people really should be putting money into. The other thing that people need to really be looking into is the other things that affect the value. So grading companies. So I mentioned PSA, the other one was BGS, and there's CGC, which they're normally known for grading comic books, and SGC. I would say that, PSA is king right now, and most of the cards really should be looking at them. And then if you want a discount, but you really want the card and you just want to get a discount, go for SGC, BGS, because they're very reputable, and CGC. I think those are the best companies to really look into. Maybe HDA, they're kind of, I will wait on those. For at least for PSA 10 is the highest grade, and that's going to be the most valuable, and then a 9, and then 8, and it goes down. And 10 sell for at least 3x more than a PSA 9, but sometimes much more. Next, BGS, their equivalent to a PSA 10 is BGS 9.5. I don't know why they do it. BGS 10s are much harder to get than a PSA 10. And then they have BGS 10 Black Label. BGS 10 Black Label normally sells 6 to 8 times more than a PSA 10. And BGS 10 normally sells for 2x more than a PSA 10. Next is understanding Pop Report. You can go to Google PSA Pop Report, and click TCG, and then look at the certain sets for Pokemon, and then you can look through and see like how many were graded for the Pokemon cards. They also show some of the previous sales at different grades. You also see, what they consider the market cap for that card. The other one is you need to figure out where you want to buy raw versus graded. Highly suggest buy graded because there's so many fakes that are coming out. Certain things you need to look at. If you do have a bunch of raw cards in your closet or somewhere, look at the surface, the front of the card, the back. Look at the edges. So on the side or at the top or on the right or at the bottom. The other thing is to look at centering of the card, making sure it basically has a perfect line of symmetry in a sense, from left to right and top to bottom. Other things that you really need to consider is negotiating, like being able to negotiate for cards. You're doing this online, or you're doing it in card shows or in person with someone. If you're the buyer, I think it's easier for you to walk away from a bad deal online than in person. In person, it gets harder because there's this human factor and kind of wanting to be accepted. But really, getting a network is going to help you the best. Nostalgic elements. So, Pokemon is known for like video games, movies, TV, toys, and other merchandise, and the show as well. The other thing I think people should also be looking at is the reason why people are investing in Pokemon or even like Pokemon, and why it's a good investment, because it's the highest grossing media franchise. It's done over 100 billion in sales. It's higher than Harry Potter, Marvel, DC, higher than Hello Kitty, Winnie the Pooh, Star Wars, big stuff like that. So it's extremely popular and a lot of money. Trading cards have topped over 10 billion. So very, very high. The buying demographic is 24 to 36 years old. So these people are basically millennials and maybe some Gen Z. And these people are just entering the workforce for the most part, or haven't been in too long, and they're starting to make more money. So when these people get in their 40s and 50s and they're probably in a midlife crisis, this stuff is going to be even more valuable. Other one is, you know, I believe that Gary Vee, who kind of pushed it in some other celebrities like Logan Paul and other people were very popular, are getting more people interested in getting into it. Also, pandemic had a part in this. Pokemon Go in 2016, I believe, really got more people into it, and it's been this steady grow until now. There was the thing with celebrities coming in, and pandemic probably helped as well. This massive explosion, but there's that as well. Graded cards, fake scarcity, but also a lot of stuff. PSA is overload, so it's hard to get the cards back. So graded cards have actually, gone up because of that scarcity. Also, just how cards are really increased. In the past year, Pikachu cards, especially first edition or red cheeks or yellow cheeks or whatever, have increased by like 1,000%. I mean, there are certain cards that people probably bought for $50 4 years ago are now selling for, much, 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 much more. $20,000, $10,000. They paid $50 for it, maybe 5,000. So that's something that really, you 100x your money. It gets people interested, and you have friends that do it. 25th anniversary recently for Pokemon in Japan. Other things are, first edition box and Charizard both sold and at least 300K or more. Is going to get people interested. And even though the market has been going down, people are still interested in it, and there are more and more people getting in. Other things that people need to look into is, base set 2, because that has Charizard as well in it. You have Team Rockets. This is the first expansion set, and it's the 5th set. Came out in 2000. The other thing is about this set is that it does have a dark Charizard, and these are really the dark version of the cards. And I see people who are collectors to buy, oh, I want to get Charizard, but I want to get dark Charizard, and I want to get light Charizard. Other sets are Gym Heroes, has like Misty, Brock. I believe it has other people, I think it's Surge and Erica. Certain things like first edition Moltres and other legendary Pokemons for first edition. Gym Challenge, Blaine, I think, is probably one of the more popular ones. And Giovanni also has a Charizard in that set. And then also promo cards. Black Star, I believe Gold Star is also popular. These are cards that I think people are sleeping on, but I think they'll be very, 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 very valuable in the future. And I think people are trying to get complete sets, first edition sets currently for Pokemon. Like for the first edition PSA 10 base set, if you want a complete set of all the cards in PSA 10 condition, I believe there's only 12 to 15 that exist. So to get that whole complete set, you're gonna pay a pretty penny. A lot of people are gathering these sets. And then also sealed packs. People tamper with them, but people are interested in sealed boxes as well. But sealed boxes increase more than anything that you can get. And yeah, so this is my video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, comment if you have anything you think I should be talking more about or talking less about, and give me feedback.